And so today, I'd like to examine just a few of those walls and see if I can help you to understand how you can tear down the walls that would dare to hinder your greatness. Let's look at the first of those walls. It's what I call the wall of self-doubt. It's those little beliefs that start even when you're a small child, with people who say, are you sure you want to do that? Or do you really think that you can achieve that goal or objective? It's that little wall of doubt that surrounds our minds that makes us wonder if we can really do what we want to do. I remember when I was in college, I took a course in psychology, and we studied an experiment. It was an experiment involving a tigerfish, a fish that is carnivorous and has sharp teeth, and it eats all the other fish around it. All the fish in the sea that surround the tigerfish are afraid of it because the tigerfish is bold and strong and eats whatever it so desires. They took the tigerfish and put it in a bowl with other feeder fish around it. And when the tigerfish got hungry, boom, just like his nature, he ate the other feeder fish. But then they did something. They took a glass wall and they put it in this fish tank. It divided the feeder fish from the tigerfish. And when the tigerfish got hungry, of course, its propensity was to eat what it wanted. And it tried to eat the feeder fish, but bang, it ran into the wall. Suddenly, it couldn't understand what was wrong. So it tried again, and bang, it ran into the wall. And again, bang, and again, bang, and again, bang. After a while, they take the glass shield out of the fish tank. And around the tigerfish are all of the feeder fish that it would normally eat. But guess what? The tigerfish had been conditioned. And now with food all around it, the tigerfish doesn't even try to eat. In fact, it dies in the midst of all of that food. You see, friends, I believe that not only fish can be conditioned, I believe that human beings can be conditioned as well. We run into that glass wall, bang, again, and again, and again. And soon, our paradigm becomes, why even try? It probably won't work anyway. And we develop a paradigm and a thought process that makes us doubt the abilities that we have. I believe we live in the greatest country in the world. A land where you can be born of biracial parents with an absentee father and ascend to be the president of the United States of America. But there are many people who doubt that ability. And with all the opportunities that surround them, with the walls of self-doubt that they build in their mind, even in the greatest land in the world, they won't even try because they have never learned how to tear down the walls of self-doubt. Well, what's the second wall? It's called the wall of mediocrity. It's the wall that we build in our minds that say, you don't have to stand out. Come on, everybody can do that. You're no different than anybody else. I always speak of my parents. My mother, she passed on about 8 years ago. My dad is 92 and looking for another young wife. But the reality is that they taught us some things. And they had a poem that they quote to us. They say, once in life a task begun, you do your job until it's done. Be it great or be it small, you do it well or not at all. They taught us that you don't want to be average or mediocre in whatever you do, because there is greatness in you. Ascend to the very best of your capabilities. I love football. I love Vince Lombardi, the great coach of the Green Bay Packers. Lombardi won more championships than practically any coach in the league. And someone asked him one time, Coach Lombardi, how is it that your teams are so great? He thought for a moment, and then he said this: a good team will do something over and over until they get it right. But a great team will do something right over and over again at a level of perfection with persistence until they get to the level where they cannot do it wrong. My teams have perfection because that's the way we practice That's the way we play. That's the way we believe. Coach Lombardi understood what you and I have to understand. There's greatness in you. But if you just go about the mundane things of doing life, you'll be like everybody else. I believe you were born an original. Don't be a copy. Strive for greatness, and you can tear down those walls of mediocrity. But what's the last of those walls? Well, there's the wall of self-doubt. There's the wall of mediocrity, just to recapitulate for a moment. But the last of those walls is the wall of impossibility. It's that belief that all of us have that a certain thing you desire to do, it can't be done. There are walls of impossibility that we build in our minds. I remember when I was a child, I loved to play baseball. And I was a terrible baseball player. You see, in baseball, the object is to take a bat and hit a ball. But I was scared of the ball. I stood in the batter's box hoping that the ball didn't hit me. I waited on 4 balls, and then I could do my ceremonial walk. I was a terrible baseball player. But in my mind, I had a dream of hitting a home run. The home run fence was a number of feet, a long way from the batter's box. Every time I got in the batter's box, I would stare at that fence, and it became a wall, like a psychological wall of impossibility. I never, ever hit a home run. I barely got a hit. I never will forget. One day I came home from college. The guys in the neighborhood said, "Hey, you want to play a pickup game of baseball?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." We went down to the very field that I played Little League Baseball on when I was a kid. Most of the guys that were in the group were the same guys who played when I was 12 years old. And on the mound was Billy Fleming, one of the greatest pitchers that played Little League Baseball. It's the last inning. The score is tied. And who's in the batter's box? Me. I'm thinking, oh, I hope he throws me 4 balls so I can get a walk. And old Billy Fleming just looked at me and smiled, because he remembered me from Little League. He knew Ed is not going to swing at any balls. He's waiting on the walk. The count was 3-2. And old Billy kicked his leg up and went back and flung that last pitch with all of his might. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like the ball was coming in slow motion. And all of a sudden, something said, "What is it going to hurt to swing?" And as the ball came into the batter's box, I swung that bat with every ounce of strength I had. And guess what? I hit the ball. And it started rising. Went up over the pitcher's mound. It went out of the infield. It went deep into the outfield. And guess what? That wall, that home run fence, that fence that all of my life I thought was impossible to reach, that ball sailed clear over the home run fence. And I said, wow! Trotted around the bases. My teammates were waiting, and they were all patting me on the back. They said, "Ed, way to go." And you know what happened? That day, I not only hit a ball out of a park, but in my mind, I tore down a wall that said that object was impossible to do. I came to tell you there's greatness in each and every one of you. But before you can pursue and achieve that greatness, you've got to tear down some walls. Walls of self-doubt, walls of mediocrity, walls of impossibility. And if you, in your heart and mind, realize that the skills, talents, and abilities you have are yours and yours alone, pursue them with a passion and with excellence, you can tear down all the walls that would dare to hinder your greatness. Mr. Joseph.